What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna have a story time. We're gonna chit chat, spill the tea. I am also gonna be getting ready. So without further ado, let's get started. For primer today, I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty primer. Dude, look at how, oh my gosh, why does my skin have to be so sensitive to the touch? I swear. As you guys can tell from the title, I quit my job. And let me tell you what, I've never felt so happy, honestly. Little backstory. The company that I used to work for is a small company compared to other companies that I worked for, and they really had a really big issue with management. And this was in different campuses, so it wasn't only just our group, and I was a transfer there. And I don't know, I feel like from the very beginning, management didn't really like me. I feel like there was that disconnect. Like, I didn't understand why didn't they like me. I noticed that there was this certain behavior of like, they preferred people who didn't really stand up for themselves. I don't know how much of the tea I want to spill, to be honest, because I don't like talking shit. And I will admit that I was upset. So I was emotionally involved. You know, I had to speak up, and I was like, I don't think this is right. I talked to HR, and there was multiple people in my group that agree with what was happening. Let me start doing my makeup, because if not, I'm gonna start forgetting, dude. I'm gonna start off with this. Oh, not the leaf blower. You guys, I apologize. You know, I'm just gonna skip through this part until this leaf blower moves, because I bet that is kind of loud. Here we are, the leaf blower person has moved to a different section, so we can continue. I was able to put on the concealer, but that's about it. I think I left off by saying that the issue that was happening, that is still currently happening, it was known. HR was aware of it, and I was able to speak with the HR managers, and they were aware of the issue even before like me telling them, you know, my side and like what was happening, and they were wanting to fix it. So when I had my meeting with HR, pretty much, wait, can I talk about this? I mean, I didn't sign anything, but the point is that there was a problem. People were aware of it. They were trying to fix it. I don't know if the issue has been fixed or not. I don't think it has, but I don't know anymore, and I definitely don't care. Yeah, I quit my job, and I feel so happy. And I have a new job now. I'm going to be a full-time YouTuber, and so now you can expect more videos of me more often. I'm kidding. You will have more videos of me, but I did find another job, which I'm really excited about. Where is my, right here. I found another job, and I'm really excited about it. It's a different schedule than the one that I had, but it is Monday through Friday, which I really like that, because I definitely want to have Sundays off. Dude, I haven't had a Sunday off for, I don't know, maybe like over 3 years or so. Like, I've always worked on Sundays. Let me just say that I like being home on Sundays, okay? Because Sundays are just the chill family days. Like, no one wants to work on Sunday, dude. I always hated going to work on Sunday. I really did. But I also really liked working, or I also really liked the compressed work week, because I had multiple days off, and that felt pretty great. Like, you actually feel like there's a mini vacation every time you go for your weekend, so that's really cool. But Tegan's schedule is from Monday to Friday anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me as long as I get to see my baby more. I feel like everything just kind of worked out. Like, I've been wanting to find a new job for a couple months now, and I always kind of like pushed it aside. And I mean, the reason why I left was because the lead person from our group, which is a really cool person that I respect a lot, they got a promotion, and so they weren't gonna be the lead anymore. And I was technically supposed to get that job, but because I didn't work well with the manager, I already knew that that wasn't gonna be a good idea, and there was never like a discussion about it, because usually like they ask you if you're interested or whatever, and like they knew that I was interested in leveling up, but it was just the manager and me, we clashed a lot. Like, I cannot get along with this person. I do not respect this person. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to speak up about how you feel and like what you think it's wrong and how you feel like it can be better. And that's what I did. Like, we had conversations and it just never went anywhere, and I just didn't really agree with her way of going about finding things out. Like, instead of being like upfront about it, it was kind of more on the sneaky way, try to find out from other people, when it's like, you can just ask me what you want to know. Like, you're just wasting time trying to play this like cop interrogation thing into trapping people into saying what happened. That was a big problem. I was not down with that, you know what I mean? They knew that I wasn't, and so it was always kind of like this tension every time there was a meeting. I feel like they were very cautious about how they would speak to me, but it's because there's a way to speak to people. Like, you shouldn't be cautious about it. There's just a respectful way that you communicate. Another part of the problem was our training. They would expect you to know just by watching someone else do it one time. That is not okay. And I spoke about that. I'm like, we need a reference book. Like, we need post orders so we can refer to when we don't know like what we're supposed to do, because there's a lot of things that you can do at this job, right? But they never really told us like the whole complete description of these are all the things that you're able to do. Instead, they just told us like, these are the 2 priorities that you do, and then if there was downtime, then they would get you in trouble, because they said, well, if you finished all of the tasks that you were assigned on the day, like why didn't you do this other thing? And it's like, well, because I wasn't trained on this other thing, and I didn't know that I was supposed to do this other thing. Like, no one ever told me that. And then they would get upset at you, and I'm like, what? Dude, that literally makes no freaking sense. I don't know, dude. I swear that company needs a lot of help. Those people need a lot of help, and I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. And I'm very happy that I'm not a part of it anymore. I feel like throughout my professional career, I've had different supervisors and managers from different ethnicities and backgrounds, and I've never had this bad of a management team for the company that I work for. Like, this is by far the worst management I have ever dealt with. It's just crazy. It's crazy to me. And I don't know, like, they also need help. I feel like they are also really overwhelmed with work, because I mean, I don't think that they have enough people to manage what they need to be managing, and I think that's also part of the problem. But people leave, people quit all the time. Like, before I quit, there was another person that quit, and they were there only for 2 weeks. People just quit right and left. They just leave because it's just a really shitty company to work for. Wow, look at this foundation coming through. On the positive side, I did get to meet really cool people. I think I only met like 3 cool people, to be honest. One of them happens to be Emily. Do you guys remember Emily? I actually filmed a video with her a few months ago. She has become one of my closest friends. We actually went to Base Canyon together, and that was amazing. She's amazing. I love her. I haven't seen her in like 2 months, and I miss her a lot. I swear, she's like a mini me. Like, it is so crazy. Like, when I met her, I instantly knew that I liked her. I was like, I like this girl. And then we became really close really quick, and just from like talking with her and, you know, sharing about life and all of this, I'm like, bro, I feel like you're me when I was your age. Like, it's wild. She is a little younger than me, but I don't know, it's just so crazy, because I'm like, I used to think the same way. I don't know, I just don't think I've ever met anyone like that. So it's really cool. One time though, now I can say this because now I don't work there anymore, but me and Emily went to well, you know, maybe I think I'm gonna have her also tell this story, but one time for lunch, we went to the Margarita factory, and we decided that we wanted to have a drink. And so we got a drink, and that day was actually International Margarita Day, I feel like. And oh my God, you guys, I'm gonna insert some clips, because I have a few clips from Instagram, and I'm gonna insert them right here. Oh, I can barely tell. Oh wait, here you go. She said, let's go to lunch at the Margarita factory. We traded drinks, you guys. We're gonna take this. Cheersies! 3, 2, 1. Tequila. I don't like tequila. That was good, but I don't know what it was. I don't know what tequila it was. So anyways, we got some margaritas and we were like, you know what, fuck it, dude, it's margarita day, so let's just get a full drink. And so we got a full drink, just the one drink though, but it was a big ass drink. Like my drink was like this tall, like almost like Vegas, a tall drink, and then her drink was like your face was like the size of the margarita cup. It was big, and there was 2 baby shots inside that. I started drinking my drink, and then she was like, actually I want your drink, because she liked it better than her drink. And I'm like, okay. Okay, let's switch. And so I got her drink and she got my drink, and we straight drank them drinks. And let me tell you, by the time we were done drinking our drinks, we were lit, dude. We were lit. Like I was fine, and I also drove, which was not far away from our work, but I was Gucci, okay, because I was eating, I was drinking water. Was I drinking water? I was not drinking water, but I was eating, and then I was drinking my margarita. But it was fine, because like I know me, you know. So Emily, on the other hand, tell me why this girl literally got, like, she was lit, like it hit her harder than it hit me. And it was because she didn't eat her food, and I kept telling her, I'm like, dude, you need to eat. And she's like, no, it's because I'm drinking now, so I can't eat, like I'm not hungry anymore. And I'm like, okay, this is not a good idea now, because we have to go back to work. Like there's still another half of the day that we have to complete before we're off. I started noticing, like, as it was getting closer for us to leave, that she looked like she was feeling it. And I'm like, shit, what am I gonna do? So I'm like, you know, we're talking, and then she starts sounding like she's like slurring her words like a tiny bit. And I'm like, oh shit. And at the time there was a new hire that Emily was training, because like Emily was the OG. So when I came in, Emily was my trainer, and she was the one who got promoted to level 2. And apparently there was another level 2 person that I did not know about, and we did not like this girl, dude. We did not like this girl. I know we kind of sound like we were probably the issue, but dude, I promise you we were not. And later on, because like people thought also the same thing when we would like tell them, I'm like, dude, this person is just like they're not okay. Like it's just not, they're not a good worker, and they're not a vibe. And it was really hard for us to get along, but we did try. We genuinely did try. And so when we were talking to the manager, and we were like, dude, it's just not like a good match. Like it's really not. And so there was another group that we would always have meetings. 2 groups would have meetings together and stuff. And so they thought that it was just us being girls. And then when that girl transferred to that other group, then they knew what we were talking about. They were like, oh no, yeah, you guys are right. And I'm like, dude, we're not like those, we're not making it up, you know what I mean? And so the point being was that this girl didn't really like us, and we didn't really like her, and she was new, and Emily was, you know, a little bit drunk or tipsy, and I was not, but I definitely did had my drink. And so I'm like, okay, well, I need a plan. I just started thinking. I was like, okay, what are we gonna do about this? I told Emily, I'm like, okay, Emily, I'm like, when we get there, I'm like, don't really talk that much, okay? Like, don't say a lot. I'm like, if she asks you something, just, you know, you can just say like you're tired or whatever. I'm like, but I'm just gonna do most of the talking, because we had to work together, like the 3 of us, because like I said, she was training us. And so I was like, I'll just do the talking, and then everything will be fine. And she's like, okay, yeah, okay. So I told her what to do. Did this girl do what I told her to do? No. When we got to work, she started talking like they were all cool, and you know, like, oh yeah, we're gonna go do this and do this. And like Emily was like this. She was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this and do this. Like her eyes were like closed, and she was like talking like a little bit slow like this, like, oh yeah, and then we're gonna go do the PMs, and then and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, girl, that was not the plan. I'm like, you need to shut up. And so then the other girl that was not the vibe, she kind of like looked at her for a second, and she was like, what what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, I could tell that that was like her thought. And so I was like, okay, get her attention. And I started talking. I'm like, yeah, so we're just gonna go in, we can start walking, and then we'll just go do whatever we're supposed to do, blah blah blah. And it worked. Oh my god, thank god that worked. Maybe I low-key feel like she definitely still had that thought in her head, but she didn't say anything. So, and we didn't get in trouble, so everything was fine. But the anxiety that I had when Emily started talking, I was like, dude, what the fuck? And then later on that day, texts me and she's like, dude, I'm not feeling well. And I was like, what? It was one drink. And she was like, yeah, but I took those that little shot and I took your drink. But I'm like, I honestly think that we had the same amount of alcohol, but she claims that she had more. Do I believe her? Maybe, because when we traded our drinks, I just know that she didn't have enough food, and I think that's what probably happened. But drinking wise, I feel like we had the same amount, because we took the 2 shots that were in her margarita that we ended up switching. I also took one of those shots. But that was definitely a story. I definitely thought that we were gonna get in trouble, because I'm like, dude, it is very apparent that you're tipsy right now. That was a fun time though. I definitely had a fun time. We were having a good time, like during lunch and stuff. We were talking, everything was good. I don't know, when Emily and I hang out, it's just such a vibe. Like, honestly, super cool. I miss her so much. So Emily, if you're watching, dude, I miss you. Oh, dude, I'm gonna tell you guys another story. So there was one time when we had a meeting. We were doing like introductions and everything, and the manager was like, oh, I'm gonna call him Steve because that's not his name. But he was like, oh, Steve, you look, how did he say it, man? You look like you've been eating good. You're not skinny anymore, or something like that. Dude, when he said that, because there was like over 10 people in that room, or yeah, I think there was like over 10 people in that room. I was sitting across Steve, like just right here. And when he said that, I was like, oh my god. Like, I felt like I started blushing from my uncomfortableness, and there was no way to hide it because you can't wear makeup, okay? So I was blushing in all my glory, dude. But anyways, I feel so uncomfortable. And then there was another guy that was sitting at this corner of the room, and his reaction was like, oh snap, or like he said something that I started laughing because I was like, what the fuck's happening right now? And everyone was just kind of like, oh, what? Like, you could just feel the awkwardness in the room. And so when that guy made that comment, then the manager was like, I mean, he looks like he's happy, like he's taken well care of, like he's well taken care of. I'm saying that he looks good, okay? So don't report me to HR. That's literally what the manager said. You get yourself in trouble by your own doing. I don't know. Oh my god, okay, so I was not present for this incident, but I was told about it, or multiple people were told about it. So do you guys remember that girl? We're gonna call her Reagan. So Reagan, she started with us, didn't do well, so then she was moved to another team. And when she moved to the other team, I feel like things were kind of going okay for her. But then the person who was the lead had issues with her and kind of ratted her out, really. And then she had a meeting with the manager, and the manager was like, he pretty much told her, like, stop asking too many questions, like you're being annoying, because the lead told the manager that she was being annoying because she was asking too many questions. And so then this girl started crying, and eventually I think she quit, or she got let go. I don't know what happened to her, but I feel like I saw her a few times on the hallway after she left the company, and it was just, I don't know, dude. I feel like that girl also had some things she was dealing with. It's crazy. It's crazy because I feel like the age group of that workplace is pretty like mid-20s and stuff. So sometimes it can feel like it's too high school vibes. What I think it's very interesting, you guys, that I feel like I just don't know what got into me that I I was that person that was speaking up on the things that I didn't feel were right, because I'm usually not that person. Not that I let people walk all over me, which I don't, but I've never really gone to the point where I have emailed HR or anything like that. Like, that's just, I don't know. Hopefully it made a difference and people learn from it. By me doing that, it showed my coworkers that they also need to do that when things are not okay. Like, they can stand up for themselves, and it's not a bad thing. It's not like you being problematic or, you know, like you're the issue. Things will never get fixed if you never speak up. People don't read minds, and if no one knows that there is an issue, then it's never gonna get better. And that's just tea right there. That is true tea. Anyways, you guys, that's the tea. How do we think? How do we think? What do we think? I think this is a big ass weight. I don't know that I like it. Let's do the other one. But yeah, you guys, do you guys think that I'm the problem? Do you think that I was wrong for speaking up? If you guys have any crazy work stories, please share them. I would love to read some. You guys, oh my god, I was definitely late to the meeting with my friend, but we got through it. I'm back now. You guys know what I realized? I realized that I did my makeup very sloppy. Like, my wings are not even, like, this one's pointing more than this one. This one's like chilling right here, and this one's like whoop. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Stay tuned for another story time, because I will keep you guys updated on how this new job is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.